So here's something cool. It is May 22nd, 2022, and I got a little story for you. Back in January 1989, holy shit, that was a long time ago. Me and my band went in to record this album, and this is actually the original test pressing from that album. It's funny, it doesn't even have the label. This one says, we wrote sober and not sober for side one and side two. You can tell what we like to do. It's also funny, as a side note, there's some other notes in here. We were kind of like working on Autumn Cathedral test pressing for promotional use only. I think this one we sent to the radio station with our manager, Mr. Grimm, because he was that was his name. His name's Scott Blashek. But he had a radio show at KSCU, Santa Clara. But here's like an old flyer from a show. You can kind of tell what genre we were from that. Oh, and here's a show we did with a band from the UK called Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry, back in the day. But yeah, there's just some fun stuff here. But really, the main point. Ooh, here's something. Here is what started the whole like censorship thing with Tipper Gore going to the to Congress and get the ratings for the albums. Dead Kennedys released this album called Frankenchrist, and the following picture is kind of pornographic, so if you have kids, don't let them see this. I'm going to let you see it. It's an H.R. Geiger painting, and this is what it is. This was on the inside of the Dead Kennedys album for all the kiddies to grab, so it's pretty nasty. But it's funny because my brother used to have that hanging on his wall in his room. I think he was like 14. Good times. Yeah, that was Generation X. We were good. Yeah, we didn't have all the. Well, I guess you guys don't have all the filters either. So it is what it is. Anyway, what is the point of this video? Well, the point of this video is that today, after I guess it's getting on 35 years or possibly a little bit more, I just got the master tapes from this album. This is all the original recordings that we did in the recording studio at Astro Sounds in San Jose, California. And I finally got my little grubby mitts on them. You can see they've been stored properly. Two of the master 2-inch tapes. And they're in pretty damn good shape. So you can see it's got the track lists. The date 10/30/88 is when we started recording some of this. Can you see that? 1988. I had graduated from high school just the year before. Engineer Bill Hare. Bill, I'm going to tag you in this. Hopefully you can say something to the crowd. I finally got it, Bill. Bill has gone on to get Grammys, and he's just an amazing guy. He's in the San Francisco Bay Area. Really great engineer. I'm not sure what his deal is with booking his studio, but he's got it up in his house. He's somewhere in the South Bay. Bill Mantica, I'm not really sure. Anyway, Bill's a great guy, and him and I did a lot of the mixing, not necessarily on this album, but on the other Ill-Fated album that we never finished. But yeah, so I have all the track listings for that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this tape baked, because any tape's over, I can't remember if it's 15 or 20 years. It's like a magnetic tape, obviously, but this little sticky shed thing happens. So you have to bake it, make sure that there's no, I'm going to close it a little bit more carefully later. Make sure there's no extra moisture in there, and then I'm going to have it taken and transferred over to digital. So I can take it, and I want to remix the album. I want to hear all of these tracks all by themselves. The other thing that's kind of cool is this is my bass that I used on this album. This is the actual bass that I used on track 10 track 10 and 15, which it says it's left and right bass, but from what I remember, is we used to record one right into the console, right into the desk. I don't remember doing it right. I don't know, Bill. See if you remember. But I just remember used to sit in the control room and do my tracks. Then I thought I had my amp in the other room too. So anyway, whatever. But not a lot of tracks, obviously. This was the desk that we used was an old Capitol Records desk. It was a 16-track desk, and that was the desk that we used. Not the tape machine, but the desk that we used was used for Steve Miller's The Joker, whatever album that was on. That same Capitol Records desk we did this on. But anyway, yeah, this is the bass that I used for that actual album. So pretty cool, huh? Not that I'm gonna fix any of my tracks or anything, but I could, because I have the same bass and it would probably sound the same. Maybe the preamps would be a little bit different, but in any case, I'm not gonna do that. But I just thought it was kind of cool that I still have her. So anyway, I'm pretty stoked. These tapes are finally where they should be. My friend Manny went and picked them up from Bill quite a few years ago. For whatever reason, we couldn't get them from him. And then Scott Blashek, who used to be our manager, he started out as a bandmate, then he became a manager, and then he couldn't take our shit anymore. So I became our manager, and now I know why Scott left. And so Scott went and picked these up for Manny last week, and he brought them here to me. And I'm going to do something with them, and I'm going to make sure that they stay safe, and I'm able to get everything off of here preserved and digitized, so it'll last forever. So if there's any old school Autumn Cathedral fans, I'm going to tag one that I know for a fact he'll like this. I'm going to do some new mixes of this stuff. The mixes, unfortunately, on these albums, I wasn't real happy with. No fault of Bill. I think it was more of too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing. And then Bill and I did way better with the second album that we never released, when it was just him and I early in the morning, and then everybody else would kind of straggle in. So yeah, I've been working in recording studios since the late '80s with great guys like Bill. But that's the inner sleeve. My name's somewhere in the middle, I guess. That's the inner sleeve, and this one actually has the front, and that was on the second side. That's actually a church, a cathedral in San Francisco that Elyssa, our guitar player, took that picture, and then we brought it into a very early version of it was Adobe Illustrator and Desktop and all of those early Apple Macintosh programs is what we designed all this stuff, and it was real super just. So it was all brand new, totally brand new, late 80s. And I actually took this picture from the top of this shopping center. I can't remember the name of it. It was up near Saratoga and San Jose. Westgate Shopping Center? I don't know, anyway. But the picture came out like crap. It came out way too dark for the album cover. This came out way too dark too. The CD version looked a lot better. It looked more like this. It was nice. But we wanted black and white because, that was our deal. Anyway, way too long of a video, but I just wanted to kind of share that with everybody. This is like a major milestone in my life. So now I am the caretaker. I've always kind of been the caretaker of stuff like this for the band. Elyssa was too for many years, but it's sort of fallen to me, which is, I guess, appropriate since I was the final manager. And I kind of broke the band up too. So I walked out. Our keyboardist Jason, he was so crispy. He came to band practice one day, and it was a whole bunch of shit before that. But he comes to band practice and doesn't have his keyboard. I was done. I walked out. But anyway, there it is. So. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's my birthday. This is a good birthday present. And y'all have a good weekend. I'm feeling a lot better too, by the way. Bye.